Rae Perkins, who I just recently met through texting, and I can tell in this short period of time is a very special person, a person that is devoted to service, because she's out here in the wind and the cold and waited around for us to get this sound system going. She is running, correct me if I'm wrong, for the 4th Congressional District. So remember her face. She did grow up in this area, is that correct? Okay, but you do live in Albany. That's right. And you have an astounding number of grandchildren from what I was reading. 14? Holy smokes, you are blessed. That is wonderful. She is a constitutional conservative, and she is passionate about returning the federal government to we the people. I give you Rae. I always want to say Joanne. I don't know why.
Well, hello everybody. Thank you all for being out here in this cold. Dane asked me what was I going to talk about, and I said, I don't know. I usually don't know till I stand up and start talking. So I live in Albany. I met my husband George when I was 16 years old. I'm now 62. And we're about ready to celebrate our 41st wedding anniversary. And yes, we've got 14 grandchildren. Our son and daughter, both are in blended marriages. But it's amazing. Kids are absolutely amazing. And they are our posterity. And they are the future of this country. And it is so important. Everything, Roy, that you said is amazing. And I'm live streaming right now, and I live stream yours. Yours is separate because I want to make sure I get it uploaded easily. And people are going, who is he? Where do I find him? I love this guy. So thank you so much. It is so important. The gentleman that had an appeal to heaven flag, did he leave? I don't see it. Okay. Huh? It's over there. Okay, so there's a gentleman here, and I was going to grab my, there he goes, appeal to heaven flag this morning, but I ran out of the house without it. That flag, if you guys noticed it, was the evergreen tree that said an appeal to heaven, and that flag was the first flag that was commissioned by General George Washington for the Revolutionary Army. And it is important that we appeal to heaven. It is so important. And Dane touched on this abortion issue. I'm going to talk about that for just a minute. I've got a lot of friends right now that are down in Eugene, and there are people around this country. Normally I don't wear, outside of my gloves, all black. But today is a day of mourning for all of those innocent lives that have been and will be taken. And we've seen the uproar in New York when they just passed an abortion bill. Vermont just did it yesterday, House Bill 57. Anytime, any reason, no questions asked, that baby can be taken. It doesn't matter. In Oregon, I remember being on these steps last year, last year, during the short session. 2017, thank you. And I remember Representative Bill Post coming out in absolute tears when he said that Oregon just passed a full-term abortion bill. Our tax dollars are going to that. And while I was sitting here listening to Roy talking and Dane talking, I was reading over our Declaration of Independence. Do you guys know that that was 12 score and 2.5 years ago? Not 4 score, 12 score. And when we take a look at how many years that has been, that we had brave men and women who stood up and said, I've had enough. And I'm willing to risk everything that I have. And these were all business leaders. The vast majority, they were business leaders in their communities. And they came together and said, we've had enough. And today we've had enough. And we do have that legal right to redress our government and say, look, you've gone outside the bounds of what the Constitution says. Roy, you brought up something about the judges, about the oath.
Yes.
And something struck me in January, because this oath was not taken by the U.S. House of Representatives, it was read to them. And this is what the Speaker of the House said, do you solemnly swear?
Yeah.
The oath says, I, Rae Perkins, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the office of the duties on which I'm about to enter. So help me God. That is the constitutional oath of office. But you see, not one of those representatives actually took that oath because she read it to them. And I sat there astounded going, oh my gosh, she's reading this. Do you swear? Not one of them internalized that oath. Isn't that amazing? So if you didn't internalize the experiment, but you see, they keep calling it an experiment because they want us to think that it is not proven that it will work. They try to tell us that there's never been a form of government that's lasted for more than 200 years. I'm sorry to blow them away, but guess what? We have. 1776 from 2019 is a little more than 200 years. 242 years. Be 243 in July. So this is what I'm asking of you guys. How many of you, by show of hands, have run for any type of political office whatsoever?
Not yet.
I see 2 hands. How many of you are elected precinct committee people for a party? 1, 2, 3. We've run for office. Okay? 4 of us have run for office. How many of you have worked on a campaign to help somebody get elected? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got 7 people here that have helped a candidate get elected to office. I'm asking you guys to get activated. Please, get behind people that you know that are solid, that love this country, that will take this oath, that are willing to put it all on the line. When you're a political candidate, they're going to, I have been filleted wide open by people who don't know me, but you know what, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that they do that, because I'm on a mission by God, with all honesty. I know that God has called me into this crazy arena. People go, I could never do that. Well, then don't do it, because if you haven't been called, don't go there. You'll get messed up. It's not easy to do, but it is worth it. When I look back and I look at those men and women way back in history, all the way through our nation, in fact, for the Veterans Parade, I wrote down all of the different wars and how many lives were cost, going back to 1776. Should do it sometime. It is mind-boggling. All these people, and a lot of them didn't volunteer, they were volunteered. And some of these wars, probably more than some, we should not have been involved in. Now, to help people in other nations say, look, what kind of government do you have? And we give them tactical assistance, not physical assistance, with boots on the ground, but yet some training and some teaching and helping them, some education, makes sense to me. To give them the tools without us putting our lives at stake. But I'm going to ask each of you to please run for office this year, right now, and I don't remember, the filing deadline is March something. School boards, water boards, cemetery boards, all those positions are now up. Okay, so find out. Get involved on the community college. Run for some sort of local office if you feel that inclining. And even if you don't win, and I have not won except for precinct committee person, and I will win this time around, you get out there and you let the message be heard. When we take a look at what they're teaching in our public school systems is an absolute atrocity. They are rewriting history. They have flipped things upside down. The kids don't know if they're a boy or a girl or something else. These kids are saying, no, you need to refer to me as they. I'm sorry, but that's demonic. That's the legion of demons. It's talked about in the Bible. I tell you, that's who it is. I know it is, because you're either a he or a she. Okay? And I'm sorry if you think that you're something else. Get some counseling, which, by the way, is illegal in California, which is crazy. You can't get counsel to deal with your confusion, and that doesn't make sense to me, but you can get saved and set free. But get involved, please. Pray for candidates. Pray for our president. He needs our covering like nobody's business. That man has been under more attack than any other president in recent history, and I would submit more than Ronald Reagan. And more than JFK. JFK, had he not been assassinated, would have endured probably what President Trump is doing. How many of you guys know who Q is?
Okay. Yeah. Where do we go? Where do we go?
Where we go one, we go all. If you don't know who Q is, get online, follow Q. He is part of President Trump's cabinet, I guarantee it. Okay? And I'll talk more about that offline. But you want to talk about conspiracy theories? Sometimes if they're bloviating it's conspiracy, there might be fact backing it up. But I want to thank you guys for being out here. I'm Rae Perkins. I'm running for the 4th Congressional District. To tell you where that is, it's all of Lynn County. It's all of Lane County, Douglas County, Curry County, all the way down the southern Oregon coast, Coos County, Benton County, except for North Albany, and also Josephine County, except for Grants Pass. It's over 17,000 square miles of territory. It's a lot of driving around. I need your prayers. I need help. If you know anybody, and I know y'all do, in any of those communities, have them get a hold of me, because I need help. I cannot do this alone. It does take an army, but I don't need 3,000 people. I need a handful of people just like what is here. Because when a handful of people put together their hearts and their souls and their mind for one common cause, we can be successful. Thank you very much.
Rae. Allow me to help you with 2 things here, may I?
You may.
First, conspiracy theory. Do you know who invented the term conspiracy theorist?
Now?
CIA. And
why?
Why? Because it was invented to disparage and discredit anyone who dared question the Warren Commission report on JFK's assassination. So there's number 1. Number 2, President Reagan. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help."
That is true.
And I'm from We the People.
Yes, yes, that's different. That's different.
Thank you.